Welcome to Intelligent Insights, where we explore stories rich with lessons that resonate in our everyday lives. Today, we delve into the tale of a king whose insatiable greed led to his ultimate downfall. Once upon a time, in a vast and prosperous kingdom, there lived a king named Darius, known far and wide for his insatiable hunger for wealth and power. His kingdom flourished under fertile lands and hard-working subjects, yet the king was never satisfied. While his people lived modestly, Darius built towers of gold, hoarded jewels, and demanded higher taxes from the already struggling populace. One day, a wandering sage arrived at the palace, offering wisdom to anyone who sought it. The king, intrigued by the sage's reputation, invited him to the court. "Wise one," the king began, "I have all the riches in the world, yet I yearn for more. Tell me, how can I ensure that my wealth never runs out?" The sage, sensing the king's greed, smiled knowingly and replied, "Your Majesty, there exists a mystical lake in the eastern mountains. Its waters have the power to double the wealth of anyone who bathes in it. However, it demands caution. Greed will taint its blessing into a curse." The king, blinded by ambition, dismissed the sage's warning as mere superstition. The very next day, he embarked on a journey to find the lake, accompanied by his guards and advisors. After days of travel, they reached the eastern mountains and found the shimmering lake nestled under the peaks. Its water sparkled under the sun, and Darius could barely contain his excitement. Without hesitation, the king stepped into the lake, immersing himself in its magical waters. To his astonishment, when he returned to the palace, his wealth had indeed doubled. His treasuries overflowed with gold and gems, and his lands expanded as neighboring rulers, intimidated by his newfound power, surrendered to his might. Yet as time passed, his satisfaction was short-lived. The king, now consumed by greed, desired more. Determined to double his wealth again, Darius returned to the lake, ignoring the warnings of his advisors. "One more time," he assured them, "and I will be content." Once again, the lake granted his wish, but this time, strange misfortunes began to befall the kingdom. The crops withered despite favorable weather, trade routes were blocked by unforeseen calamities, and unrest brewed among the overtaxed citizens. Unfazed by the mounting problems, the king convinced himself that another visit to the lake would solve everything. His advisors begged him to reconsider, reminding him of the sage's warning, but Darius silenced them with threats. He bathed in the lake a third time, confident that more wealth would secure his control over the faltering kingdom. When he returned, he found his treasury empty and his kingdom in chaos. The magical lake, angered by his greed, had turned its blessing into a curse. The once loyal subjects revolted, accusing him of ignoring their plight while pursuing his own desires. Neighboring rulers seized the opportunity to attack, taking over vast parts of his land. Darius, stripped of his riches and allies, was left with nothing but regret. Desperate, the king sought the sage, hoping to undo the curse. The sage, upon seeing the humbled Darius, said, "Greed, Your Majesty, is a bottomless pit. No matter how much you acquire, it will never be enough if you cannot value what you already have. The lake did not curse you, your greed did." With those words, the sage disappeared, leaving the king to ponder his mistakes. In the end, King Darius lost everything: his kingdom, his wealth, and the respect of his people. He spent the rest of his days wandering the lands as a pauper, warning others of the dangers of unchecked greed. His story became a lesson for generations to come, a reminder that wealth and power mean nothing if they come at the cost of wisdom, contentment, and humanity. Greed is indeed a curse. It blinds us to the blessings we already possess and drives us toward ruin in pursuit of more. As Darius learned too late, the true wealth lies in gratitude, balance, and the well-being of those around us.